of RNG. Game 1 that didn't let them come back past that 10-minute marker. It was a game 1 where BLG took a quick victory there, Raz. And as I get comfortable,
there we go.
Back into my chair.
Yeah, we didn't get much. I'm talking about in between series.
Yeah,
we didn't get much of a break, so that you can go through all, you know, your due diligence.
Also
watch and break, whatever you want.
I did legs for the first time in 7 years, and that's why I'm falling off
that's
my
unfortunate.
chair. Yeah, that is unfortunate.
7 years is actually too long. That must be a hyperbole. You calm down.
No, it was actually 7 years. But coming after game 1, BLG.
Stick legs.
Yeah, they were walking pretty fast towards that Nexus, and that was a game 1, which I think to be proud of. Towards Meteor, who was our MVP there. So congratulations to Meteor as we bring it up. Yeah,
boom!
Again.
He's ready to chop you.
Again.
He's actually just been way too sick as of late. Yep. I think that, you know, after this series, he started to make a claim for just the best jungler. I still think that, you know, Karsa is up there. Tien is certainly, but Meteor is just coming incredibly strong in the summer split. So if we're just talking about recency, yeah, keep stacking them MVPs.
I mean, it was this early game play where Meteor was at the core of it, where RNG tried to challenge.
Remember, early kill was given to ADD. He had the advantage. He comes in, picks up an even larger lead. This only exacerbated the issue. And so from this stage forward, remember, 11 minutes in, the lead from BLG was only getting larger. And the fact that they tend to double down on this, very unclean calls coming in, or unclear, I suppose, from RNG. Didn't really have an idea how to play this one out. So even coming out of a replay, we came out of a replay, caught this. Sejuani comes in instantly. Jinjiao immediately follows it.
Yep.
And I just love the fact that Jinjiao just flashed right through. Knew that he can take down Uzi. Already, you know, Volibear falling through. This was the one way RNG could come back into the game, though.
And it happened twice. I mean, this was the second time around, and clean execution towards the pick is what got RNG in a better situation.
Yeah, we have a pretty crazy day. Today we saw 2 games in which a team essentially won at the first, like, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But you really got hope. RNG was building up that hope that they could take it, and then this team fight happens. And even though Uzi, you take a look at this, comes out in such a crazy way, went invis, ulted out, had the extra shield, blew sums. You don't have your AD carry to put damage in the fight, and that's what matters. Great engage coming in from the Sejuani, the moment when she got picked off, or at least got engaged upon by the Volibear. The issue is that the primary tanks or front lines coming in from RNG were not in position to lend a hand towards Uzi.
Towards, you know, 40 minutes, you have to get towards that point. Otherwise, they're just so squishy. They don't exist.
Yep.
So that was rough. It was a rough game 1 for RNG, but you have to say with BLG, heading towards playoffs as a top 4 team, this is really cementing it.
Yep, it's looking damn good. Right now, BLG is making a claim that they're a team that deserves to go to Worlds. That is making that back. And remember, both RNG and BLG don't have many champion points to their name.
That's right.
RNG got bounced out really early on in Spring Split. BLG didn't even go to the playoffs.
Nice.
And so for them, it all counts to this run.
Yeah. The run that, if BLG keep on going, they will find themselves in, you know, quarterfinals potential. I don't think they can make semifinals because this is their last series, so quarters.
But this is the craziest split of the LPL I can remember, because a lot of the times you usually have that one king in the LPL. They stay along for a while, for a good while. The WEs, the EDGs, the one split of LGD. But I'm just talking about the fact that you usually have a team that is crowned, and they remain there for a little while longer. We had Invictus Gaming get crowned as world champions, Spring Split champions.
That's right.
And then, now they're struggling to get into the playoffs.
They're not even secure yet. We don't know if they're going to make it.
It's the regular season kings of FPX, Top Esports, RNG, BLG that are making those strides. And if you see a best of 5 happen at this very moment, then you know that BLG are going to take down Invictus Gaming again. They already did during the regular season. That's like a week ago, actually. Like, right now, we're in a state where we don't know who's going to be the LPL champion. We don't have an idea who's going to even be in the finals. You would expect it to be FPX because they've been performing consistently for the last 2 splits.
That's right. And you take it a step further, and let alone you don't know who's going to be representing at Worlds at this point. You have an idea of the potential. That's it.
You see him. This is the change in between games. Love ZR out. Langx back in. Now, this is a contentious point from everybody. Everybody probably remembers the bad games in which Langx had. But if I remember, like, the strength of games, when he was on Suning, he was phenomenal. He's always been that kind of a top laner that can play well on weak side, and especially if you give him resources, he can carry for you. And then when he came on RNG, he had strong performances off of his Aurelia. He had pretty damn good Aatrox games. It's morely recently that we've been seeing bad performances when he has been put in weak side positions. If you're RNG, the gold and resources is going to be going towards the mid and bottom lane. So I wonder if that, the time off that he's had with LoveZR coming in has handled that. Now we're going to be hearing from Kuro.
하는 챔피언이 저랑 좀 비슷하다고는 생각하고 또 지금 되게 잘하는 선수라고 생각해서 챔피언은 솔직히 잘 모르겠어요. 그냥 다 잘하시는 것 같아요.
What? How are you going to leave us with that?
I don't think I can play all champions well. Well, Kuro.
I wonder what the question was for him to come out with that answers. Are you a perfect human being that can play all champions? Of course, nobody can play all champions well.
If you ask ADD that, he would say yes.
I think what Kuro has shown us, we'll be hearing from Xiahu actually.
之所以想跟我对线，是因为跟我对线就没什么压力吧。我们两个一个韩服，一个陆服，对吧？大家混着混着，游戏就结束了。酷肉选手的话，就是那种游戏理解比较好吧，然后对线方面是很稳定的选手，就是那种宁可让你压几个刀，也不会出什么问题的。
Okay, I can agree with that. Remember, Kuro, an incredibly smart player. And I think the big change that he's had coming into the LPL has been his champion pool.
Yeah.
Because remember, what you would remember Kuro for are like Talia, the mage champions he's had in the LCK. But if you're a new viewer to the LPL,
I just remember Anivia, right, from FLICKR Freaks 2018.
Yeah, and I just remember coming into this the LPL, he's been dabbling in a lot more of the assassins. Specifically, he was the first one to pick up the Kiana when it was on release here. He was going straight towards the LeBlanc so often, and so he's been far more of an assassin player. So while he has told you guys he doesn't play all champions well, I can agree with that. There's a lot of champions in the game. But you definitely have a much wider champion pool than you're letting on.
Comfortability against Xiahu. The mid lane matchup comes back into fruition here in Game 2. And the top lane matchup has changed. So Langx, more stability here, I'd argue, for RNG heading into this second one.
Olaf has been left open here too. So if we're just talking about the champions that are up and available, then certainly Olaf is there. You'll look towards, likely a Sejuani. We saw what Meteor was able to accomplish in the champion last game. Just depends if you want to opt into that matchup. And so that's why not willing to pick it up right from the get-go, because they know that if an Olaf goes to the enemy team, they can still pick a Trundle.
Oh.
So we'll see what Meteor's response is going to be. Is it going to be that Trundle? Is he still going to opt into that bad matchup? Gragas is going to be the hover. I just want to see what the lock-in is going to be.
Let's see, because for BLG, I know at the very least, Kuro being on a zero is nothing new. It's the Korean mid laner who we know and love that always picks this up. But yeah, Zaya Rakan here for XinMo and Jinjiao. I'd believe that.
We saw what power earlier on in today, what EDG could do with the pick with Iboy and Mako.
Yep.
Certainly can see the same thing rolling through with Jinjiao and XinMo, but the Alistar is going to be locked in.
Bully for you, yeah. Okay. So bottom lane changes up here for BLG in what could be their very last game.
Now, I like the Nautilus in the matchup, but certainly if you're an Alistar player, post 6, if you get engaged upon by the the Nautilus hook, you're happy about that. You can ult out and just kind of run rampant in the fight. The damage reduction is pretty damn impactful. So Alistar lock in just for the later on team fight. Seems like BLG has that as a focus.
What do you make of this Talia? Because for Xiahu, roaming towards the bottom lane's never been so easy.
Yeah, here we go. Talia and the Olaf.
Yeah.
We actually have seen this complete combination. I think it's been RNG that picked it in the past, which is if you want to get control of the lane, throw the Olaf axe, couple it up with the flick, you have a pretty damn good burst. And you also get Olaf in the fight. Or if you just already have priority through the lane, as you have already said it, bot lane dive is so easy with these two, especially post 6 when the Weaver's wall is available.
That's why you ban away the Karsa in this bottom lane. Don't give Uzi what he wants. So first AD carry ban, while RNG are banning away top laners, junglers. The Trundle, as you mentioned there, into the Olaf is going to be denied. And so is the Camille as a potential.
You know, it's a good pick into the Xayah, though.
Oh, tell me.
Technically, you can go Lucian if you want to have that early game power.
Uzi's played a lot.
Post 6, you certainly think Vayne. And Vayne, that's definitely the type of guy that Uzi is. if you have all these champions, goes towards the Tristana. Now, take a step back. Remember, it's RNG on red side, can be a Tristana up top lane.
That's right.
So I want to see what the last pick is going to be.
Yeah, we saw it the other day here on Summoner's Rift, so yeah, let's keep that in the back of our mind.
I just remember, historically, that one game where Uzi was able to go back to base off of a crazy quadra kill. There were like 4 kills that he's supposed to get early on in the game. Comes back with a Blade of the Rune King and just completely wrecks out. He is a Tristana player of old, so if we're just talking about Tristana coming back into the meta, you would definitely give respect to it as a mid laner and top laner, but in this game, in this team, I expect it to be Uzi picking up the Tristana.
Yeah, that's right. It's been so unique, and I love that this pick has just kind of been shining up. But for BLG, a couple of other unique picks there as well, with the Gnar back over to ADD. And fun fact, he's been our most played Gnar so far in the top lane. Also the Gragas to pair with it, as we saw earlier.
We've seen some great Gnar ultimates this LPL split.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about picking up blind option, then yeah, ADD is going to say, I'll just pick Gnar, I'll have that range, I should be okay in the matchup, and then I'll be in team fights, and that's when I'm going to be impactful. So just take a look at BLG's composition across the board. Team fight heavy. Xayah and the Azir for the backline damage is absurd later on. And then the team fight setup, Alistar, Gnar ultimate, Gragas. That's just so much to deal with. So RNG has some great flanking in order with the Vladimir that's been locked in.
Yeah, the Vladimir, the safe option, so we know that Uzi will be on the Tristana. And he looks comfortable as you need to be for this champion, where this will be our LPL Tristana 80 carry, making its debut if I'm not mistaken.
This is going to be a lot to deal with if you're BLG.
Yeah.
Because that Tristana is set to succeed. Where you have the Taliyah that's going to be, of course, getting a lot of advantage with Olaf by your side. They're going to be looking towards bottom lane to at least get vision control to start. And then if the dual lane, is going to be conceding the turret, or at least a little bit, and allowing the jungler to come in as a defense, then you take up free turret plating. Just free.
Yeah, so quickly.
And then, if the bottom lane is stubborn enough to keep underneath that turret, then that's a dive waiting to happen.
That's right. It does so much damage. I will come back and reiterate, of course, Jungwooji from Rogue Warriors has also played this in 80 carry, so Uzi will not be the first, but he could be the first to pick up a win with it if RNG are successful here.
I'm going to put that salt in the wounds of Jungwooji. Rest in peace, Rogue Warriors. I'll see you guys next week.
A team that once upon a time challenged RNG, but here BLG are doing that. Game 1 was secured. And if they're not careful, BLG will take them away and further secure their top 4 spot here, ending at 11-4. That's what comes into with Game 2. Pretend there's a crowd, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to believe. Close your eyes and listen. It's like the sound of the ocean, except it's not. Unfortunately, Beijing, we do not get the sounds of the audience, so I apologize there. But I want to point out that as we get into this early game, it's always fun to look at what the Gnar wants to prioritize. It's going to be the Airy this game for ADD for the extra poke.
Yeah, got an extra little bit of lane pressure there for himself. Ooh. It's nice to see that happen. You can try and just force out constant wave in, constantly try and trade heavily into the Vladimir, but the Vladimir is going to be able to level up pretty easily within the lane. So Vlad should do fine. At least the Gnar will be able to get through the lane. It's more so team fight focus from both of these teams. That's just 9 inspiration secondary out of the 10 people on the map.
Oh, ADD.
Biscuits galore.
Letting the team down with the domination second. That's okay, as we come into Game 2 with vertical jungling to be the start here. Gragas with the red side, red start, and red side, blue start. If that didn't confuse you enough here from Karsa, you can see him on the minimap.
Yeah, they're going to get a full clear steer. No, it's actually going to be Olaf starting with Conquerors, not going to be going towards the, Predators, so he doesn't need to go back to base and worry about that too much. But
I've seen a lot of that recently, actually.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Predator, even from Trundle. A lot of gank pressure, especially in the LPL. A lot of the junglers are actually catering to the lanes a lot more, not the other way around. And if you're going to have that priority, certainly Predator helps you out, get the first base, go towards the bottom side of the map. And so that's why you see a lot of it, specifically with the Trundle. Taking a look at this, though.
similar position to what we saw in the last series, but different consequence.
This is going to be far more beneficial for RNG because remember, this is going to be vertical jungling. For Karsa to be able to be on bot side, give that level of control towards Tristana. So what was already a pretty bad position for Jinjiao and XinMo, now they know for certain that Karsa is going to be looming around. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think Vladimir should be fine underneath turret. There's no situation where he's going to be poked too heavily.
Yep.
While bottom lane is just going to have the turret plates chipped out.
Really aligns with what we talk about with RNG. Langx makes his return here. And with Love ZR out, still, it's a weak side top laner. It's just about how he plays it here in this game. And well, Vladimir can do so, as we've mentioned before. Langx is a great Vladimir.
It's a really early ward coming in from Uzi. I think he's expecting the Gragas after this clear to come down bot side.
Okay.
Usually around 4 minutes to be able to get his hands on his Raptors and Krugs, but you know, I think I would want to wait a little bit more, get more efficiency out of that early trinket.
That's why the ward was dropped there by RNG. The entrance into the red side jungle once again, but Meteor was not spotted out and heading towards the Scuttle Crab in the top side. But you'll see the end of that Scrying Bloom. No, he's top side. Ping's going down now from RNG. Karsa doing the same, going towards the bottom side Scuttle Crab. The vertical jungling will continue here. And with the first dragon being Cloud, that'll be one RNG will be keeping their eyes on.
I like how, you know, Kuro is actually leaning to the left side of the map where his jungler was before he based. So he always has that heads up. Taking a look at this all in. XinMo's going to take a little bit of damage.
Ooh, there's going to be the rocket jump immediately. Ignites down. Uzi wants Jinjiao, but the root caller comes through once again to heal through there. The Ignite's still there. Uzi gets poked out, the flash away from the seismic shove. And BLG lose their summoners, but RNG, no Meteors down here now.
That's the most frustrating thing about this dual lane here, at least how the skirmish has been playing out, is that Jinjiao may be able to get a good trade on towards Uzi. Problem is you have far more members from RNG in the area. Talia's going to be able to rotate easily. Olaf was already on this side of the map. And now Meteor needs to be here to be that line of defense.
Yeah, he's not leaving as well, and Karsa knows he can take the 1v1 here. So RNG still getting the shove up, and for Jinjiao at least staying in this lane.
Oh, going to be going straight for this one. Cloud Dragon does deal a lot of damage, but at least he's going to have some aid here from the Nautilus.
Uzi not going to help as well. He's backing away, went back and picked up the pickaxe to move back to bottom lane. Xiahu doesn't need to help as well, so looks like we could be going back to standard sides of the map here for Karsa afterwards, though.
There we go. Next one's going to be a Mountain Dragon, so 4 minutes onwards, and I mean, RNG should be trying to keep the matchup firm. Remember, 4 minutes from now is going to be when Rift Herald starts to become that priority. I think RNG, their only goal is to be able to follow where, you know, turret platings end up following. So if they mean that they're going to have to concede a Mountain Dragon because they got bot lane turret so quickly that they're going to be up top side, they're going to be happy about that because that still positions them in for Rift Herald. So Rift Herald priority is certainly going to be there from RNG. Just want to see if BLG kind of messes them up before that even gets to that state of the game.
Okay, well, spotting out Karsa, if you want to say messing up, then I think this will really get to him. As Meteor over the wall won't be able to find the steal, but he's still in position to counter out Karsa, and as you mentioned there before, set up for the Rift Herald in 4 minutes. Down towards the bottom side.
Oh, got him.
Yeah, that feels nice. You know it's not going to do too much, but Langx has to burn his own ultimate. Okay.
But that does matter, just because now it puts you in dive range. Meteor is certainly going to be in the area looking for that. And even if he doesn't come up topside, Langx just has to respect that.
True.
Meaning that he has to go back to base, burn the TP. So now we're in a position where BLG is starting to get some priority and push coming in from ADD up top lane.
This next wave will come in. He's already got a 10 CS lead up there with Meteor nearby. Teleport, as you mentioned, will be burned here by Langx. Was able to pick up the Fiendish Codex early on, so better cooldown reduction to get himself closer to that Crimson Rush.
Wondering if we'll see an Executioner's Calling coming in from ADD, just simply because, like, you look at the composition that RNG is rolling with, there's a lot of sustain just built in, both the Olaf and the Vladimir. Certainly helps you if ADD just wants to keep himself on side lane to at least get that picked up really early on. He does have a cull for himself. It was a bad back timing for him. At least he has that little bit of life on hit, so he has, you know, keep in lane for a lot longer, soak in as much gold as possible. I just want to see what the next item's going to be looking for him.
Ooh, Ming and Karsa, though, making their way around Summoner's Rift down towards the bottom side. Meteor is going to get low, but He's used the smite here, spots out RNG making the roof. Xiahu is always on the move.
Yeah, but Xiahu has a tough period now because he's gotten his wave pushed in. They got to get that red buff now or they'll never be able to get
And the
it.
explosive cast separates Ming. They're going to go in for the engage as XinMo jumps back in. This should be first blood for RNG, but how long does it take as XinMo goes down to Uzi? Xiahu doesn't die.
Glad they fully committed there. And then Uzi just gets in there right for the picking on top of XinMo, so they found their window.
Fun that Uzi can now just jump back in on Jinjiao. He's going to start hating this lane more and more as time goes on. What is that skin? Is that the new? Is there a Project Tristana skin?
I didn't see it. So.
Cool bubble. Meteor at least trying to trade this one around now. Karsa has backed very quickly, and a 2v2 is brewing.
Ah, Xiahu's going to be here. Let's see if the flick does land. He's a little bit slowed now.
Oh, does not. In the end, goes towards red buff. Meteor picks it up and he's out.
Okay, there we go. I guess he was just trying to use flick to at least contest for red, but good challenge here from BLG. Mirrored just because they know that they have the shove up top lane. But take a look at this, because that was a nice cast. The only problem is RNG wanted this window to be the one in which they fully fought through mid. The Azir had completely shoved in a wave up mid lane, so if they didn't get the play there, then Xiahu would actually just be losing out in the play.
Karsa moving towards the top side now, though, with wards down. That's a Hema plague to poke ADD out, but this is called the old double bait, as you know that's it. The combo from Langx is down.
Got
but
him.
ADD's walking forward. Meganar almost there, hops away, gets the slowdown on the Karsa, and that'll be a good escape.
Oh, he's going to be pressing right back forward, too. Especially since he has that, you're right about the added little escape that you have if you're Meganar, ultimate in tow. Maybe we see an ultimate coming through.
You don't expect the Nautilus here.
got
What are
him.
you doing? Flicks away, or flashes away from the flick. Try staying that far. That was a good attempt here from the Nautilus.
Got a mid-dash, too.
Yeah.
Had to blow his flash, so expect them to come right back when Nautilus has ultimate ready.
The Talia, who was 15 CS down, that is a breath of fresh air considering Xiahu wants to get the wave shoved out and back away. Ming's able to get the kill. That's more freedom in lane. Yeah, give Uzi all the gold. That is a scuttle crab. Then he'll now be able to walk bottom side and pick up the rest of the CS. Infinity Edge first, by the way, for the Tristana. Now we've seen a bit of Blade of the Ruin King in the solo lanes, but Infinity Edge first item as an 80 carry. Always good news.
That's why, for a Tristana player, the fact that you have that added bit of, attack speed on your Q always helps. You can just go towards the IE or at least your AD item first. Now, the skin that you're referencing, now that I've seen it.
Is it Darkstar?
No, it's actually the unique skin that it had. Remember when Ilaoi had her People's Vote skin? That was the Tristana's version of that.
Was it?
It's like a devil. Yeah, did you just were you under a rock during that period?
I don't vote. No, I do back in Australia. No, seriously, Langx. Oh, help me! He needs it. He flashes away from the boomerang. He was dead while RNG say, okay, you lose top, we'll get Dragon, but BLG want to challenge even that.
Yeah, they don't have the members, and of course, Ming taking a lot of damage. Now Xiaohu's here, so they can fight for it.
But look at where Kuro is, positioning over the wall, looking to poke them for Dragon. RNG might just have to piece this one out as Langx could die. Hema Plague's there. He gets the auto, but is he going to die?
Oh.
ADD dies. That's kind of hilarious as we're down to a 4v4.
All right, RNG's forcing on this one.
Weaver's Wall locks him out. Maybe not, because Kuro died in the back of that play, Raz, with Dragon going down as well. He just wants out of there, but XinMo gets knocked back, popped into the Unbreakable Will. BLG getting flashed on as Karsa, over ambitious.
All right, XinMo's able to save himself on that one. Damage reduction that he was able to get through with ultimate keeps him alive, but at the end, you're right. Kuro ends up dying for it. Topside, that trait ends up happening. Across the board, it's a little bit in favor of RNG. RNG was able to get that first kill on towards Kuro, who was coming out of the flank. I mean, that's always a tough play there. Really well done from Ming.
Second time he's done that as well.
Straight on him. He knew that he didn't have flash because of the fact that he was able to secure it in mid lane.
That was sick. Good start to the game here for RNG. Small gold lead as well, about 1,000 in the back pocket at 12 minutes in, and they pick themselves up that mountain. There's another one on the way. Now, at this point in the game, you're always like, okay, people on their way to their first item, but both Karsa and Uzi, almost died mid-breath. It's hard, Raz. It's hard when you can only breathe out of one orifice. Orifice? Yeah. Karsa's not going to be able to steal that one away. Meteor's there. That's what I can imagine. Imagine rappers who had colds.
Oh,
that would be
awful.
impossible. That would be so
Trying
hard.
to feast out and you just have like plugged nose. Maybe you can come off as Drake, nasally as all hell.
I hate allergies.
Hey, you can be the nasally guy for at least one game.
Yeah. I don't know.
There's a charm behind it.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, no one else does it.
That doesn't mean there's charm.
At least for the one game it is.
Yeah. Well, I'll try. ADD is still dominating this lane. This is a 30 CS lead in the top lane now. If you wanted to talk up ADD, game 1 was the game to do so, but it feels like we're just going to rinse and repeat at this point. Someone needs to stop this weird tiger thing. What is Nah?
Oh, yeah, actually.
A dog.
What?
What is Nah?
It's a prehistoric dinosaur thing. I don't know.
But when he's small, he's not.
Yeah, he still is. You saying there's no small dinosaurs? Is that what you're trying to come across?
Look at him.
No, you're prejudiced.
That's a dog.
Oh my god, this is disgusting. Can't have this
Stop.
on my
I
broadcast.
would have a pet like that. If I had to suffer every time he eats his dinner, he evolves once. That's fine.
Dinosaurs are free folks. Anyways, Jinjiao may not be.
Wee. Well, can he dodge away from 2 things? Yes, he can. Nice footwork there from Jinjiao. As he's down 20 CS, him dying is not the answer.
There's a lot of pick coming in from BLG's comp, as we stated earlier on. So, one mistake coming in from Xiahu as he was closing in on that bush can cost a lot of positioning, especially with Kuro being able to nail down turret plating bot side. So, with how large of an advantage RNG got in the early portion of the game, that's certainly being crept on now by BLG.
Can he do this? I think this is just for pressure here from Langx, as Heaven Plague's going to go down, but ADD, remember, he has Mega nowhere near available, but has that ult. As 480 gold was picked up by this now.
Not nearly as much, you know, turret plating that RNG was hoping for on bot side.
As you talked about, I know, the ability to smash that turret.
They were leaning over the lane for quite some time. Great job from Meteor to being able to protect Jinjiao in numerous situations, and now he has himself like comparable CS margins and close to being able to get his cull completed. So he's definitely hit exactly what they were aiming for. If you're looking at the composition, they have a lot of wave clear just from the Azir and Gragas alone. So this is going to be tough from RNG. They're just going to have to fight for it now. They got a lot of pick within their comp. At least I'm just speaking solely towards the Nautilus and the Talia. Those 2 picks can create advantages for them. It's just going to be tough as you go on because scaling element is not going to be in their favor unless if Langx has a monster game.
Which is why when you look at the pace of the game, when you look at BLG once again just slowing things out, this is so favorable for them. The style of BLG, if anyone's tuning in once again for the first time, I like introducing teams. And the way I introduce BLG is it's a team that paces themselves out slowly, that is controlled and plays intelligent League of Legends that we've talked about many times for this team.
Yeah, I mean, look.
The Korean style, right?
Yeah, people call them more of an LCK type, type of team. Certainly the Chinese casters give them that role, and I agree with that. A lot of the times you have to play to their pace, unless if you can't speed the game up like LNG can. And I'm talking about like trying to get that initial lead before they try and have a much more cleaner later game. Or FPX's marquee fast moments, like or top esports, right? We have a lot of games or teams in the league that try to really ramp up the game in the early portions of it. But BLG could slow you down with the great vision control that they have around, you know, Meteor primarily. He works well with Kuro. XinMo's been doing a really good job this split being able to match up with them. That being said, I want to see if RNG can deal with the Rift Trail that got placed through mid.
I mean, they're going to have to because it's a distraction now. It's going to keep hitting away. Uzi's going to have to rocket jump over the wall. Kuro comes in with the teleport, but double TP right under their noses. ADD's there. He can hop away. That was a secure dragon, and also to help that Rift Trail get what they wanted.
That was some Indiana Jones stuff right there. Tristana moving to one door, sees the teleport coming through. Is like, I got to jump through this one. Another teleport rains on top of her head, so completely zoning her away from her team and away from the dragon, as you said. So getting a mountain dragon and still being able to be around mid lane. So this is good stuff. And even using Kuro to be just that sole defending force. If he gets matched up with Azir, he's happy about that with the range that he has, right? He can get all in on, but he should be able to keep an arm's reach from the range that he can cover with his dash. Also, he has his flashback up. So he's going to be able to push Langx back. If he's on bot lane, he can do the same thing. A lot of the problems RNG has now is around, the side lane problems. As long as ADD matches Langx at this stage of the game, they're not going to be having side lanes in their advantage.
I love that we're just talking about intelligent plays of BLG. Drop the Herald mid to help secure the Dragon, and we're just to a point where that side lane with ADD, you look at it, it's going to push in once again. This man's got so many resources, and if my eyes do not deceive me, I see a Wit's End coming second here for ADD, who, you know, he's going to ult in a second, throw a rock, pick it again. Wow!
There we go.
You animal!
You saw it, Langx certainly saw it coming. Flash for flash. At least that really inhibits Langx now. If there's a team fight that comes through, he won't be able to have a flash for it.
Oh, Uzi can't rocket jump away from this one. That's perfect execution once again. And I'm not talking about Akali with the ignite down Uzi. Sure to die soon. Meteor comes over the wall. Hey-ya! And RNG are left with a dead AD carry. And no presence apart from the top lane.
That was a game of ping pong right there. Kuro serves it up towards the Alistar. And then they leave it for Meteor to take over. And now Ming, you're in a tough position. Oh no, even worse for Xiahu.
Yeah, look, they don't know Meteor's here. The body slam's there. The instant flash. Ming goes golden and Xiahu gets caught out once again, trying to kite his way back, but his support will die. There's the Weaver's Wall. Get off my turret. It needs to stop. Look at this man. He's not spotted out as well. That character model's so big.
This game is wild. That mid lane point turned into more of a parade.
Yep.
Got that mid lane or at least outer turret moving towards the inner turret. They would have been able to get that turret if it wasn't for the Weaver's Wall. But all that strategy that came through from RNG right from the get-go was really well just slapped away. Now they just got to farm up waves for the Tristana and hope that she has a pretty large game alongside the Vladimir.
Which at this point, coming into this 20-minute mark, has been denied so far. A game that for BLG, they have run pretty much loops around RNG. Now, it's not that big of a gold lead right now. It's only 1,500, but coming into 20 minutes, they've still got that mid lane turret.
It's more the map state that I'm concerned about for RNG, because ADD should lock down Langx. And if we're saying that RNG's composition relies heavily on the Vladimir to be able to join the fight, then certainly BLG should have ADD hold him down. He was already itemized towards him, as you mentioned. The Wit's End is now completed.
And he got Berserker Greaves on a top laner. That's been a while.
Great amount of attack speed. Yeah. So, definitely an indication that this man's not leaving the lane.
I'll also say at one point, BLG will do Baron very quickly in this game. Like, they've already got one mountain, and that feels like already too much.
Look, I'm telling you right now, don't go for the Baron until you send at least, the enemy team sends 2 people towards ADD.
Of course.
Because you don't want to give RNG that one opening that they've been trying for. Remember last game, RNG almost came back because of those pick opportunities around team fights. They're looking for it right now.
Oh, the pick was there. Meteor reacts in time, walks away. BLG spotted out in the enemy jungle. Their own, excuse me, as RNG poised to strike.
They're actually just so fast. Boots of mobility is on the Nautilus. The Talia rolling around, all with Cloud Dragon just kind of helping push them along. So they can pick you off. That was close towards Meteor. Thankfully, he got out of there.
Look at that one-punch man in AVD. Just strutting his stuff through the river. Drops a ward. Now going to go back to turret now. I know that's a lie. It's about 10,000 punches that'll come through. But for ADD, he could have 2 people here, and I still feel like he wins.
All right. They're thinking about it. They have vision control around the area.
They would. TP.
The problem is they get bursted by Baron. This is certainly not the right call if their idea is to do it. They just want to force someone to answer to their play.
They didn't see the TP going down. Pings are getting spammed by BLG. They know they're in this brush. They have no vision on Baron, but they're expecting RNG to be here waiting for them.
They want to pick onto Jinjiao, onto Kuro, but they're never presenting themselves.
Here we go.
Jinjiao's always underneath turret.
Meteor
and now they're going for the play. Let's see if they can get somebody.
There's the Dredge line once again. The ult with the Death Charge gets locked on in for Kuro onto XinMo. He's tanky, but is he taking enough? Explosive cast will not hit. TP's there in the middle. This is the Vladimir, but launching TP's into a wall. The Heaven Blade comes out, but the target's already dead, and RNG may have the fight, but they're low.
That one fight we were talking about, they should have just disrespected RNG's Baron pickup, right? They would just get shredded by the Baron. They just needed to force through mid, but wanted to run straight through. Xiahu's Weaver's Wall was so well played.
Yeah.
Zoned out the carries. They were no longer able to come in. Isolated the Alistar that was just alone alongside. I mean, Meteor was there, but he wasn't going to be able to help him. take a look at this pick. XinMo comes through, isolated from his carry. Excellent cue to be able to lock on towards his ear, and now the carries are alone. Weaver's Wall comes through, and now XinMo and Meteor are just left to the pickings.
There's nothing they can do, and Langx will take the kill with him as well. So for RNG, 2 kills, they weren't able to pick up the Baron off the back of it, much to BLG's, I guess, gratitude, we could say. But then we're back to square one.
This is the problem we were talking about. Like, need to just keep track of the Vladimir, hold him down. The focus of this map should just be on ADD, never allowing Langx to enter the fights. But BLG are over-respecting RNG's Baron setup. Sure, they now have like that Mountain Dragon, but they could play it a lot slower than they currently are.
XinMo was hovering around the area looking for vision. Will drop one down. ADD meanwhile picks up side lane. Gets the turret finally, but RNG still want this mid lane turret to fall down.
You know, the Colonel doesn't know what to believe.
Nah, he has no clue. I trust him with chicken, that's it. Stop ADD. All right, there's a response. We're talking about Langx down in the bottom lane now with no teleport. ADD has his. And level 16, by the way. 15, 16. Why is our screen so far away? 15. Almost level 16, so.
I have glasses for a reason, and even I can't see it. It happens. You just need to have molecular eyes.
Molecular eyes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for that. Game of play cues. And we are back. Look at the pings. Oh, BLG, are they backing? No, don't back. The Baron's being looked at?
Just a lot of great control here from RNG around the Baron area. The only issue is that BLG need to force through mid. I would say first start from them now that they have access to the mid lane wave. Push out the wave, get the control ward mid, and then back out because Ming is in the area to try and pick up a fight to begin with. They just need to start clearing that okay, it's actually still up and available. That control ward just gives so much vision onto what BLG is doing when it should be on Fog of War. So right now, I think they can just, let's see, they got Vladimir grouping up with them.
Yep.
They can rotate for this pickup. They can actually just start up on Baron now.
Okay, go. Let's go, RNG.
All
Make
right,
the move. Okay.
let's go.
This is it. But will they get away with it? The Weaver's all there. The flash remaining. This is super early. They take him down. TP's going to come through. What the heck?
He didn't want to live.
What?
He could slow that down, but he didn't want to live. It's all good. They stopped Baron anyways. It accomplished its goal. Don't even worry about it. Let's go mid.
From 0 to hero to 0.
We got what we wanted. Doesn't matter. The means don't matter. The ends is literally all that matters. And he sacrificed himself for a greater cause.
And RNG were just intimidated by the man's
I would be
conviction.
intimidated too.
When you have that kind of conviction, you're like, okay, we'll respect his wishes. So now, we're back. This series has been a journey. I think an emotional journey is a fair way for me to put it, right?
Oh, certainly. Because the game one shouldn't even been close, but it was really made close. Oh, let's go 80.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Him and Blake there. Look at this fast
Jump on
firing.
him.
Nah. ADD has flash, by the way. He's about to go into Mega, but he's like, no, I want to say mini.
No flash on Vladimir. We're just talking about in late game Vladimir joining team fights. That's going to make it even harder for you now.
Just when Langx was starting to get good, when he was starting to get, I mean, he's always been good. You know what I mean. He's got 2 items. He's almost to his 3rd. And RNG now trying to play around the picks. ADD joins in just to intimidate them. I always love when Big Nah with a wit's end and Berserk agrees just starts auto-attacking. He attacks so damn fast.
Oh, that's great.
Oh,
but now XinMo's going to have himself a problem.
Dodges away from the seismic shove. Karsa's angry though, goes into the Ragnarok.
You know what that should mean? The fact that XinMo is down that low, Langx grouping up with the team, they should be in a great position to go for Baron. That's a Alistar is going to be basing. He shouldn't be in the area. So
what's RNG? RNG just want this mid lane turret still. They've been asking for this for the past 10 minutes.
They've really simplified the game to a point where they got him.
Good pick on the Kuro, but the pressure there will mean that that turret finally goes down now. Darkstar Tristana, Raz. Actually, I think you're right about what you said before, but still gets the turret in the end anyway.
But this is tough now. Seems like heavy pings coming through. They know that RNG is looking for a base right now. They're just going to go for it. Yes, they are.
Wow, there's 2 control wards in the pit. RNG Do not know what help this is. They're going to have to drop a ward under Token X, 3K. Karsa is getting, he flashes, he doesn't steal it. BLG just made a move and it worked.
Very close from Karsa though, but such a smart decision from BLG. This game was getting comedic for them. They realized how crazy it was that RNG had control of that Baron buff area for so long. Moment the RNG gets turret and we're looking for base, get straight towards it, teleport comes down. Great work for BLG to be able to seize control of this game.
Yeah, it's back in their favor. The Baron buff now 3 minutes on the timer. They'll pick up the Ocean Dragon. And we're look at the next one now. The side lane we're fearing here. The side lane that has been so under control by ADD gets worse.
Let's see what his next item. All right, there we go. Got a nearly full build coming through from ADD. Finally has himself the Executioner's Calling.
Yep.
So he's now going to be able to make it so much harder for Langx to get any value off his Crimson Rush. And that's really what all that matters. I feel like that was going to be helpful earlier on, but he wanted to itemize towards the magic resist as fast as possible, which I respect. And now he's going to be a complete pain in the butt to deal with on side lane. Vladimir needs to evacuate the side lane, but now they have a Baron buff that's going to be shoving them in waves. So good job from Xiahu taking up that top lane wave because it's going to give them at least some time to work with and defend through red side jungle.
Most painful thing is Xiahu's going to clear out the wave and leave because he too is an AP side laner. He too will not be wanting to match the Naras. He's now in lane full effect. BLG up through the mid lane and not getting caught by that seismic shove. That is rule number 1 right now for the Baron buff team.
You can see how quickly this game can turn just because BLG have a very squishy composition. Like the benefits of having a Gragas is that you can get the engages fairly easily. You can actually contribute with the damage that comes through. But if you get picked, you're getting popped.
And again, BLG dodge away through the red buff side. Uzi's going to find himself a bit of a mark. It's just a contestation here. There's a Weaver's Wall that was nicely done, but it only sends BLG away.
Pretty hefty cooldown too, so now you can roll up with the cannon minion wave in mid lane, and the Talia won't be able to stall that out with her Weaver's Wall. Oh, they're going straight for him.
Yeah, Ming finds himself once again into the dredge line. XinMo flashes away from Karsa, but a flash away here from Meteor who bursts down Xiahu. He has to burn his own, and ADD now joins the fight.
They didn't get the kill, but Xiahu's down and out of the fight. So now they can double down on this minion wave. What was a great opportunity from RNG turned into nothing, and Meteor almost gets completely like blasting down Xiahu. So this is a tough life for Talia.
This is not the only turret that's going to go down. The top side's pushing in as well, and RNG have to make a choice. Ming needs to find that pick because they're both going to cave in at the same time, and BLG can split up.
They're strangling you. It's starting to get worse. At least the flash is going to be coming up from Vladimir fairly soon. You'll have an option. You just have a very small window to get it done.
You need the shy play from Spring against, is it RNG? Maybe it's against FPX in the game too. Either way, you need a big Vladimir play here from Langx. Flash, as you mentioned, up and available level 16 with the Hema Plague. Baron's about to expire, so RNG putting their cards on the table.
I'm going to recall a very painful moment, but it's basically the same idea, which is Top Esports versus Don1 Gaming. It still hurts me talking about it, but that was a big Vladimir that was put down and oppressed for so long. Comes back in a major team fight in a major way.
It was Nogari's Vladimir, wasn't it?
Hell yeah. Gives me nightmares. But that's the realization. Like BLG recognized that as an option. One of the only options RNG have with now, leaning to a full build coming in from Uzi's Tristana. So anything is possible. It's unlikely, but you at least want to play away from that one win condition RNG had.
The condition that for this game seems so difficult to achieve, but for RNG still able to push out of their base is good news. The fact that with that last Baron, they did not bleed an inhibitor turret or an inhibitor to speak of means that this game will go on, and it will be one of our longer ones once again.
Problem is, the longer the game goes on, sure, RNG finds themselves even stronger in terms of team fighting. Bloodthirster now completed from the Tristana. It looks like they're going to be doubling down on this.
And everyone's here. ADD, can you 1v4? Into the midi. Nah, he has no mega. He will die here. Almost takes Langx with him.
You even see the pings coming through. I think this is a bad call from BLG. RNG are going to be here to answer. You don't want to find yourself in a team fight. Vladimir being enabled and no ADD in sight.
Can't get to the wave in time. Baron a minute away, so that was a free pick for nothing.
At the end of the day, if they send multiple members to get the kill onto the Gnar, that is fine as long as you're in a position to respond.
Yep.
BLG were far too, far away from the mid lane inhibitor turret, or even far away from the Gnar. They were really nowhere near an objective, and now Mountain Dragon's going to be coming up. You expect BLG to concede this. RNG still has a chance to win this game.
Moving towards the Dragon, the Mountain is going to be a double for either team here as well. And that's just that Baron opportunity much faster, and as we get later to the game, Elder as well.
Yeah, and it's not even a communication issue. It's more so, ADD looking at the minimap and realizing the situation they put in.
Yeah.
They are looking towards this Baron buff, but RNG once again will have the opportunity to respond. So don't want to start up on that one. Oh.
Will they walk into it now? Karsa and Ming have the ability to, but there's Emperor's Divide. They send him into the wall, and that's it as Langx finally goes in, but Heaven Plague's onto Jinjiao. Will he survive? He goes golden just in time as Ignite used on Langx, and that was the Vladimir engage.
Oh.
Absolutely negated, and Kuro just walks out of the seismic shove.
I thought the BLG was in a tough spot with no Jinjiao. Kuro jumps straight in. Such a large range advantage on towards Langx, so Langx's down and out for this one. Doesn't have TP either.
ADD's joined the fight as well, so this is where it gets hard.
So Vladimir's trying to heal up on the Wolf Camp because he doesn't have any ways to come back into the fight, but he's going to be too far away.
And too late with the Mountain for BLG, their second Baron of the game. It just keeps getting harder and harder.
But man, that was so close. Such a smart call from BLG because we both saw the same thing. BLG seemed like they were going to be going towards the Baron. RNG knew that they just needed to take Dragon and run towards it. Ming had the right idea. Ward the bush, but the problem was they still got him anyways. So this is unneededly a close game.
Once again, in a different caliber. You mentioned Kuro stepping up there. I mean, this is a big Azir that just needs to be in the fight for a little over 5 seconds, and the damage is too far done. There's Nash's Tooth, Banshees, the Ludens, onto the Morella.
And it's the Banshees that's the most important. If we're just talking about who's going to try and catch him, it's going to be the Nautilus who's been trying all game long and succeeding to a certain extent, like earlier on when he was going for the flank. This time, the Banshee's going to help him that. Even looking towards the flick that Talia has been trying to be relevant this late game stage with and trying to get some members, now doesn't have the option to get Kuro unless if he nails his Q first. So it's much harder to find the Azir, and he's been able to really have an impact in these fights.
Do you want to know what the best item on the map right now, though, is?
What is
Blade
it?
of the Ruin King on ADD. This man is a dueling Gnar. That's great.
One thing to mention, though, 400 CS from Uzi, but it may not matter. Let's see what this fight turns
It
into.
may not. If this turns into the final fight, Raz, the turret's going to secure them there, and the Weaver's Wall used. As ADD heads up to the turret, no one can stop him. As, yeah, you will find Meteor, but the problem is, what is the cost when XinMo jumps in? Gnar against the wall, only onto one. Maybe it's not that great. RNG still holding on, but they're going to lose so much with those health bars.
I was concerned about BLG's, health in that fight, but they're able to get out, and they had the angle on the inhibitor.
First one drops down. BLG moments away, Raz, from making you a king as well.
Super close. But you have Vladimir on the flank.
And he doesn't have flash, but he might not need it. Him and Blake misses!
Wow.
It misses! Jinjiao turns to him, locks him down. BLG turn for the fight, meanwhile, with ADD. And that was everything. Whisked away. BLG now have what it takes to end the game.
There was one ward in the Wolf Camp that saw Vladimir coming through. I was wondering how Kuro was untouched. He flashed away from it when it seemed that he was out of vision entirely. But that was crucial. Vladimir is dead. This could be a one game for BLG.
4 versus 5, a night of 2 zeros as BLG are heading forward. Moments away from securing top 4. They've got the pick. 1 and 2 and 3. There's Uzi as ADD jumps on him. The Tristana trying to solo defend, but into the GA with 5 members available. Here we go. And there Uzi goes as with the ace, BLG secured top 4 in summer.
Very sturdy 2 games from BLG. It was always RNG trying to fight back in both of those games, and they were able to do it. I mean, RNG in game 1 found 2 fights to be able to get it and find themselves battling back and forth for Baron. Game 2, RNG almost had the Baron buff to their name and would have been able to win out the game just based off of like their composition. But BLG always were the calmer team of the two. Always taking a step back, reassessing side lanes. And ADD was able to just run rush shot on both of RNG's top laners.
What a series from ADD. Now, do you remember at the start of the season where I was hyping this man up, and I know for a lot of people, top laners, he didn't really fit in the list.
Oh, yeah.
I believed. And this is good belief. If you want to follow a top laner, coming into playoffs, this man stands strong.
A lot of the LCK viewers out there will remember ADD as being that, flavor of the month. He has his champions that he comes in with. And then he had moments. He had great moments. He's had poor moments. Was on MVP. They got relegated, not because of him, because there was a period in which he was sick that he wasn't going to be able to play, which found him in that place to begin with.
Right.
But then he came onto BLG alongside Kuro, started fresh with the team, and was a primary reason for them being able to be successful this split. Last split, he's had great moments too, and he's becoming a real juggernaut in the top lane.
That's what I love. They were just moments, right? Now it's the consistency you look towards with his brother-in-arms in Kuro.
Yep.
The two Korean imports in 2019 have taken over and now sit top 4.
This game was certainly a conversation about ADD performing well. And it's funny because BLG is one of those rare teams that game to game, a new member steps up. You're right. ADD did today. Meteor will probably do it tomorrow. Kuro, 100%, has those moments where he comes in and he's a strong communicator, has great assassins. Like, he has phenomenal performances. This is actually one of them, too. And then you have Jinjiao and XinMo. So I feel very confident about BLG's level going into playoffs because this is probably the least talked about team for how well they're currently playing.
Absolutely.
World champions Invictus Gaming, they stomped them. You go in towards RNG, they had commanding leads in both of those games.
2-0.
And so the two teams that you know the best were taken out by the team that was just formed this year by a lesser known organization. BLG is a team that you have to know more about because when we're going into playoffs, the teams to beat are the teams that are lesser known. FPX, Top Esports, BLG.
Because right now they just secured their top 4 seeds, so they'll be going into quarterfinals against teams like RNG, Top Esports, and FPX. And if you're one of those teams, you look at BLG like, well, hang on a minute.
Yep.
How do we take down this team that is absolutely on a roll from 9th place in spring to now 4th? It looks to be the guarantee.
It's crazy, isn't it, right? Because if we're just talking about those teams, FPX is battling for first place. Maybe they slip up, but it's looking like they'll get a second first place finish. Top 2, remember, secures yourself in the semifinals, which means you only have to win one best of 5 to find yourself in a final situation.
Yep.
RNG losing this game to BLG, I think it puts them in a risky position because top 2 is still up for grabs. One semifinal position is still ripe for the picking. Now, Top Esports has a pretty easy strength of the schedule later on. Let me see who the next team they face up. Oh, I lied, by the way. FPX. I lied.
They do have OMG, of course. That'll be win number 12, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you're right. So OMG is the first one. They should be able to take OMG. You saved
right.
me on that one. But at the same time, going up against FPX, match of the week at the end of the split, that's going to be a fun one.
That's great, because especially since, like, our top 4 at the moment, let me just say, look magnificent. Our top 4, I think, are looking pretty good.
A lot of it is more so like question marks, because you're right. I agree with you. Top 4 looks great. But the problem with those top 4 is that there's a lot of inexperienced players, newer players that also have reputations of not being able to get the job done in playoff time.
That is true. It's very
Top
true.
Esports with that team. A lot of hype riding around those players. 369 and XX looked great alongside Knight, but when it came to playoff time, the only one that stepped up was Knight.
Right.
And then you look towards FPX. Should have been able to take down JDG in Game 4 in that iconic series in the semifinals, but then they slipped up multiple times, being able to make bad decisions where they could have easily picked up that series. So FPX is a team that I look at very closely and say they were the only team from the LPL that performed well in Rip Rivals. They were a team that's consistently performing well in the regular season. They should be a team that is vying for that championship title and really being able to nail it for themselves. So playoffs is going to be damn good.
It is.
And I still don't know what the teams like Invictus Gaming is looking like that we're currently counting out.
That's very true. I want to get your thoughts on RNG, though, before we go towards MVP.
Go for it.
RNG's top side of the map. Obviously,
Lord.
Langx is the preference right now, but does this denounce you or rather demote your ranking of RNG after this series?
Yeah, because, I mean, look, I voted for BLG to take this one, so I knew that BLG were going to be a better team of the two. I think right now, if we're talking about within the LPL, I would rank FPX, BLG, top esports over RNG. So that makes RNG a 4th place team in my eyes if we're talking power rankings. They certainly see themselves better than that, but because of the top lane issue, that's the major point of problems, because different to any other team, for RNG, they don't play through top. And so there are only a select few players that can condition themselves to like playing as safely as possible, but still being efficient with the goal that they have. Langx is definitely somebody who has to learn that. And all the top laners that we're throwing up there, Love ZRR, that we know from OPL, has never been about that. He's been the opposite of that. He's been the type of person that plays the assassins or like bruisers and says, okay, bring more people my way. My team will do something else. And we haven't been able to see that from him in tougher competition. So the jerseys that you see on the wall for RNG, the likes of Let Me and Zatai, are the 2 top laners that understood the system very well and can play that style. But RNG, they need to be able to adopt a different style, be able to play through Langx in certain moments, regardless, give him the pressure even if he's like when he's in position of being dove. Because we certainly saw that in Love ZRR where he was just in a bad matchup, was going to get dove, didn't have the pressure there. Gragas was on Krugs, and just to kind of give it its like nice little box for RNG, recognize that your top laner exists. Even if they're not the best person on the map, keep them alive is the only thing.
At least we have another series from RNG that will decide, you know, what our final thoughts are. That final series from RNG. But before we go into that, BLG's MVP. It was Kuro, by the way.
All right, we support those. We support those. Support the Azir. Look, we all know that ADD had another grand game.
Yep, but you can't do it twice.
But it's a team play game. You're right.
He didn't get the first one. Meteor got the first one.
Yeah.
Give it to ADD a second time.
I don't even know. Look. We got to be positive here in the broadcast. This was a great setup that he was able to get on towards the Alistar. And then, of course, was able to get down to Uzi just based off that. Gave the love tap Gragas. I guess we get to see the full love tap. Perfect.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, the combination mostly was set up by Meteor. So I think it's more so team play. We always talked about how every member has their moment in the sun. And then this flash was beautiful.
Yeah.
They got to have eyes on him. Great reaction. They were also just fairly suspicious of the entire situation. So Kuro had a great game. Certainly, the Gnar had a great game. Was able to just sit in his own matchup and keep the Vladimir down.
Meteor had a great series again.
Yep.
Which just goes to show, when you must feel great. Like, you know, I'm not an analyst, right? But I can only imagine the feeling of talking up a jungler and then them performing to that expectation.
1 rock, and I got 2 targets. Give me that echo. Give me that echo. Give me that echo. It's my title. Now, just for you guys out there, just so you guys know, I am the prediction king with this one. I am now king of predictions, and it does ride on a bet. So, primarily in the LPL, there was one time where someone had to, you know, Dom had to wear a dragon, dinosaur outfit. Dinosaur outfit. Now, I don't have that much damn time. And I'm not going to spend that much money on a dinosaur that it's only going to be used once.
Which does make sense why you're paying for it, but go on.
I'm paying for something great. 3 wigs, and I got 3 people.
What kind of wigs are they?
Y'all, you're going to find out. You think I'm going to tell you what the wigs look like?
No.
I picked a perfect wig for you, by the way.
Really?
Acting like you could take me down in the predictions. Put the echo back.
I mean,
put the echo back.
I was close.
You're done.
I was close.
Yeah, you thought you were close. And then you decided that Victory 5 was somehow going to take down.
That was a mistake.
Yeah, it was a mistake.
I put my predictions in 2 weeks before. That was a big
mistake.
And
then you just decided just
if I had
AFK.
That, it would have been up to LGD and Vici, and then I would have won it.
Yeah.
And then you'd be wearing the wigs, and you would have paid for them as well. Did you preemptively buy the wigs?
I bought them last night. I thought I was going to win off last night's game while RNW was going up against Vici. I was wrong.
Little did you know that was Rogue Warriors and Vici matching each other.
We don't talk about those type of games, but what we do talk about are those wigs. So everybody out there, get your screenshots ready. It's going to be coming for playoffs. So everybody's going to get the limelight. Going to be coming out one by one. I don't know who I'm going to be casting with, but it's certainly going to be someone with a wig on.
It's probably going to be
with a fabulous wig.
Well, at least that came second. You know, you got to talk to Niberia and Clement because I don't know what happened down there, but
they made some random bets. They did.
Clement
only
believed
gets
a lot in DMO this split at the wrong
At
time.
the wrong time.
At the wrong
At the
time.
wrong time. Rest in peace, Clement. Clement right now is exactly where RNG is. Now take that.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and it's ambiguous. Okay, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, before we go forward, and as I get the word in my ear that, because I get that they're in Beijing, I thought like, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
I thought you meant Clement's in trouble. I don't know.
No,
Let's
this
go
isn't their loss.
They're in Beijing.
I don't care. They both. Oh,
Clement,
is he in
yeah,
Beijing?
that's what I meant. Clement's in Beijing. Let's try the standings. Now you're the one who's wrong. Yeah,
That didn't matter, man. I just try to make a simple
Not
thing.
on me, just because you're prediction king, you think you can talk about this. But
Give me a damn crown.
look, predict me something else. Who gets those final 2 spots?
That's easy. I think Top Esports, they're going to have the
That's
OMG
easy.
game. They already have an extra game that they need to play. Unless if OMG just gets like super powered.
No, I'm talking about our final spots, 7 and 8.
Oh, WE. I think W and IG. I think
Okay.
LNG, while LNG has a point advantage, I expect Team WE to be able to pick up that victory over Victory 5.
Okay, I get that. I mean, WE want to make playoffs once again. Is it so crazy?
4 series win streak, by the way. By the way.
It's-
Mystic and CA finding themselves back in.
I still think it's incredible that JDG are most likely not going to hit playoffs. The grand finalists, remember.
Look, our grand finalists right now, 10th place and 7th place.
Yeah.
Things go wild. To be fair to JD, that context was they barely made it to playoffs to begin with in Spring Split. And then they were 8th seed, had to make the deep run. So it was a miracle. They still had problems. Everybody knew they had problems.
Yeah.
They didn't just pick those problems. Those problems got worse.
That's
Now
right.
I love the fact that they're bringing in Morgan. It's unfortunate that we're down the line where Morgan and Xiahu coming in for the team may not be enough.
Yes, that's right. So they have to hope for the best, as tomorrow you're going to get part of the best here. It's just about solidifying that top 2 here for FPX and Top Esports.
These are great teams. They just ain't facing each other. Top Esports going up against. Oh my God. It's the worst name to say, but you just gotta. Anyways, Dominus Esports going up against FPX.
Yeah.
Now, Dominus versus FPX is gonna be a fun one because both these teams are very, very active early on in the game, and then FPX fast as can be. I think both these series could actually be very fast close-ups just because of the nature of how
Sure.
Top and FPX play them out.
That'll be available on Huya and Douyu. That'll be the Chinese stream on Friday. But here's where we get into our 3 series days to finish off the
3
split.
sets.
Saturday, Raz. Have a look.
Look at this. Victory 5, Team WE. That's likely, of course, going to be in Xi'an. Then you fly on over like some, Street Fighter thing, going straight towards Shanghai, where Invictus Gaming go up against Rogue Warriors. And then you have yourself the Beijing Derby. The 2 teams in Beijing, JDG going up against RNG. And you'll likely see the fate of both JDG and Team WE by the end of that day.
That's right. We got a lot of deciding to do here. And then we get to our final day, which you won't see just yet, but then we get our match of the week, of course. So that'll be a good day to kind of solidify standings. We're once again to the second last day where we still don't know who fills those final 2 spots.
Yeah, it's always crazy. If you guys watch the LPL consistently, you know in the last day, you always find yourself figuring out who's going to be the 8th seed team. Like, remember last time around, it was 2018 summer, I believe, or was that fight between Snake and FPX, when FPX had Cool instead of Doomby, and they were trying to fight for that last playoff spot. FPX picks it up, but it was literally just that one series that decided it. So you may get to that situation once again.
We'll come to that once again, but for ladies and gentlemen, this is our final week, but this is not our final day. Today may be Wednesday. Today is Wednesday.
Oh my God.
We will be coming back on Saturday and Sunday for our 3 series days to finish off week 11 in the regular season. So
Stand the Pepe D's.
thank you very much to Raz.
Finally.
We will get dancing at one point. Thank you very much to our production crew. It is bye for now, but not forever.